Yeah, Sumit, hi.
Hi, Chef. Ah,
You
but
know,
this is so disappointing.
no, I think there's something wrong in your internet. Maybe I think you're sitting outside and your Wi-Fi connections are not correct. I don't know. There's something wrong. Anyway, I think you lost me in between, but I was telling the students, that uh, really to kind of, I think you need a focus, when you join in. Uh, Things are not easy, so don't lose your heart in, until you go for your industrial exposure.
Hmm.
Uh, Keep learning everything, keep your mind open. I would say go with an open mind and uh, focus on everything, both your front office, F&B, everything. Focus on everything. Even if you're interested to be being a chef, then yes, concentrate there a little bit more, but take a decision after you go for your industrial training, because that is where it completely changes your thought process of what you want. Really feel that if I have a kitchen practical, for 4 hours or 5 hours, and after that the whole day you're so tired, you will have to do this kind of a thing for day in day out. I mean, working 16 hours, 18 hours sometimes, standing on your feet all the time. So please join kitchens only if you are very passionate about it, because it's an industry which demands a lot of hard work, which demands a lot of perseverance, which demands a lot of discipline. So if you're here only for a short-term thing, to have a little flick in the kitchen, I don't think then this place is really for you, because cooking as a hobby and cooking as a chef are two very, very different things. Being a chef
Right.
is not only about cooking; it's about managing your people, it's about managing resources, it's about understanding all the four P's like people, product, process, profit. So all these things I think are very different. But I would say slow and steady wins the race. Set smaller objectives for you, achieve them, and be happy about it.
Chef, talking about trading, you just mentioned about trading.
Yeah.
So what happens when we have students in the first year, say for a batch of 120, 100
Yeah.
people want to be a chef.
Right.
Then second year, the count comes to say 80.
Correct.
And then third year, when they go for a trading, and
Yeah.
trading is something which changed their view, which changed
Correct.
their perspectives. And they
Correct.
come back to us, and then out of those 100, we are left with only 10 by the time they reach fourth year. When I
Correct.
try to speak to them, what went wrong, what happened in the trading, so they say that the environment in the kitchen was not good, or the
Right.
working hours were too long.
Right.
How do we cope up with this shift? How does a student come out with the same passion he was in before he went to the trading?
So, I think, I can take you to the incidents which is mentioned in, one of the things of, there's an old story. It's an Indian mythology. And it is about, somebody wants to find out who is the real Hanuman. And, I think it was Maharana Pratap's time. It was Maharana Pratap, I think. And he said, somebody told him that what you do is you do the Ramayana Katha, and slowly, after some time, a lot of people will start moving out. But there'll be last person still left there. And who will be the Hanuman who will be sitting there? And that is how, Maharana Pratap really discovered Hanuman sitting there, because slowly, everybody started leaving. So I think, why did, Hanuman stay there really? Because, uh, that was his passion. The Ram was his passion. So I'm glad out of 100, if only 10 are left, really, because those are the people who will stay back. And if 90 left and 10 stayed back, the 10, I think, also underwent that kind of pressures. But sometimes in your life, when something is so dear to you, you sometimes are ready to pay any price for it. And, I understand that initially it's a very, very tough line, but slowly, steadily, it's not going to be easy, but slowly and steadily, you'll get so used to it, in terms of you will understand how to overcome your fears and things. So I think in that sense it becomes easy.
I think you answered it perfectly, Chef. Chef, the next thing is, even after reaching fourth year or say in IHM's third year,
Yeah.
those who are still interested in kitchen, they are which
Yeah.
cuisine they should choose. And
Right.
then like they come to me and chef, I would take this, but I want to be a country chef, and the hotel
Right.
is asking me to cook an Indian menu, and I'm not sure which cuisine should I. Should I join bakery? How should we guide these students?
So no, I think cooking is a particular interest. Some people like to, love the heat in the kitchen. They want to be near the tandoor. They like the pressure. Some people really like it. I like creative work, and I want to work in bakery pastry. Some people, I mean, bakery can get on somebody's nerves to say, I can't stand there and keep piping little details. I mean, it's too much for someone to do it. But I think it's again about passion, what you like doing the most. So kitchen is a very creative place. I think in the first 2 years, you should not look at any particular cuisine. I think you should look at learning the alphabets. Whenever you learn a new language, you first learn the alphabets. Then you start making a 3-letter and a 4-letter word. Then you start making small, small phrases. And then only you're able to do sentences. And then comes writing essays and all that stuff. So in your first 3 months, your alphabets are your ingredients. What's an asparagus? How many types of asparagus are there? What is a mushroom? How many types of mushroom are there? How do you process a mushroom? How do you cook a mushroom? How would you treat a fresh mushroom from a dehydrated mushroom? So those things are really typical in understanding your ingredient and how they react to a particular environment or cooking, etc. Slowly and steadily, then you should understand about the cooking processes. That what is that if I boil this, if I poach this, how different it's going to be in texture. So all these kind of things. And then when you understood that, then you start making your own dishes. Then you start going to creations, etc. So there are so many things. I mean, like my mother is a great cook, but she never attended a hotel management college. So, and there are a lot of home chefs, who are there and who do absolutely a fantastic job. And, if you can visit their pages and see the kind of work that they're doing, it's remarkable, But then they have not studied formal education. But so food is something where you can find your passion. And slowly, of course, this passion, when it becomes too much, it becomes madness. So somebody was writing there, what is the difference between passion and madness? So passion, yes, a passion is something that you do it deliberately with thoughts. Madness is then when everything happens to you, So make your passion reach till that madness. But yeah, don't let it bog you down. Because there'll be a lot of failures in the kitchen, and that you must understand as budding chefs. Like you said that my training didn't go well. You'll be shouted at, without being your fault. So I think don't lose perseverance. I think to be perseverance, I think that's the biggest thing that will come as a success to you as chefs. Make mistakes, learn from your mistakes, and move on. Don't stay there. Don't curse yourself. Don't think of changing the line just because somebody was not nice to you. Yeah.
Okay, chef. So nowadays, there are a lot of restaurants which are doing very well. Now, another dilemma that the students face when they're in the 4th year, now their campus is coming and they want to sit for OC, they want to sit for WMI, and then come
Right.
these restaurants. So they can't take a call at their jobs.
Yeah.
Should they go for a 5-star hotel or should they go for a standalone restaurant? So what is your
So I
advice
think my
to
answer
them,
to that question is very simple. I think you need to work 10 years back or 10 years ahead. You need to understand and ask yourself, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Now, if you want to see yourself as an executive chef of a 5-star hotel, then starting from a free standalone restaurant does not help you. But if you say that, I want really quick money, I don't care what I learn, but I'm here for 2 years. I want little money and I want to go and immigrate to Canada or US. Then maybe the hotels will not pay you so much as the standalone restaurants will pay you. So that could be one of the options that you join. If you say that I want to open up my own restaurant, that could be your need. Then work backwards to say I will start my career in hospitality in a 5-star hotel because I want to see bulk operations, quality, everything. And then slowly after working 3-4 years, you must switch to standalone restaurants. Because if you want to open up your own business, the hotels are not going to help you open up your own business. Because the processes run in the hotel are very, very different. A standalone restaurant will have a crunch of space. They will have a different licensing things. They will have ingredient sourcing, which is very different. So if you want to open up your own restaurant, then I think you should, after a few years, shift to a standalone restaurant. But my advice to everybody still is, don't go for a job, go for a career. And which is one thin line of difference that the youngsters don't see. And I'll give you an example. Let's say it's your friend who's joined a call center at the salary of 40,000 per month. And you've been only picked up by one hotel at 16,000. So you must be wondering, oh, what did I do wrong? I was such a bright student in my class and I did hotel management, and he just did a normal graduation. But today he's on a 40,000 salary and I'm on a 16,000 salary. But trust me, maybe after 5 years, that person might be from 40 to 60, but maybe you have gone from 16 to 1 lakhs. You don't know that, okay? So just go for a career in your hotels. Like, don't go for a job, because if you just go for a job, then you'll never be satisfied, because you'll keep switching companies. After 6 months, you'll be leaving. You will be running after money, power, and it's no good to be an executive chef with no experience at all. So I think it's important when you become an executive chef, you have burnt the midnight oil, you have gone through that learning stages, you've seen that busy operation, you've made mistakes, you've learned from them, and then you are at the status, where you are, doing a justice. You're mentoring people. You're bringing business to the organization. So these things are not easy, really. So focus. I would again say, start from baby steps. Yeah.
So if I missed something, I actually, when we were talking about training part, there's a kind of trend which is happening nowadays, that the college sending their students abroad for training. And here
Correct.
again, the student is very confused. Now
Yeah.
the students comes to us and ask us, should I go abroad for training or should I do the training from India? So what is your advice to these students? Should they go
So
abroad or should they do training in India?
So I think both the options are very different. I always think that youngsters are, and I've been through that stage where going abroad, uh, but you have to understand the process are really different. What you will learn in an Indian hotel is very different what you will learn abroad. Like in India, you will learn multi-skilling. You will learn how to cook everything in bulk, quantity cooking. Um Whereas abroad, I mean, we don't do banquets of 1,000 people. Uh, they have very limited staff. Most of the things actually come ready-made. You just have to open the packet and just cook a meal. So there'll be a different kind of learning. But yes, I think that inner thing of I've been abroad and done that gets satisfied. But if you ask me honestly, I think working in India in the Indian scenario is always better, because I think the Indian hotels and the training teaches you a lot which international hotels cannot teach you.
Very true, Chef. Chef,
Yeah.
one very important point I wanted to share with you, and I've seen this happening with students, especially those who are weak in communication. And Chef, I can promise you,
Yeah.
and they are so good in the skills, they have such good skills. But what happens with them
Yeah.
is they generally fail to crack the GD round, and they become very
Mm-hmm.
disappointed. Even though
Right. Right.
with having so much of skills, because they can't
Right.
speak English, they cannot pass the GD and they cannot get a job. So I feel
Right.
there is somewhere unfair to these students. How should they be shaping up, and what do you think about this?
So listen, I don't think it is unfair really, because language is something which is an acquired skill. People can learn French. I learned Spanish in 3 years. So language is something that you can really pick up. Okay. And English is not an alien language to us. If you start learning German, Korean, it will take you 3 years to learn it very well and speak like a German national. So English is something that we've learned. I think we know the language, we just are not confident about it. So I think we need to make it an innate nature by talking more in English. But however, if I say that, I think the English communication language only comes in handy if you have to become the management cadre, because you have to take a lot of decisions, you have to go and talk to the guest, and we have a lot of international customers who want to see that we people are talking in English. That is the only thing. But to be a chef, if you need to speak in English, I don't think so, because 40% of the world population of chefs don't speak English at all, whether they're French, German, Spanish, they don't speak English. So if you're not good in communication skills, then yes, that's an area you need to improve on if you want to join the management position. But nobody stops you from getting into the role of a commie and then learning from there and graduating up. They will. Sumit, are you there? Okay, I can't hear you, Sumit. Maybe if you want to type your questions, I'll be able to.
I
So
think today Geo is giving me a lot of dhoka.
no, don't worry, it's okay. And we just wait. I think there were more than 100 people online, so we'll just wait 1 or 2 minutes for others to join in. They're coming online.
Meantime, by the time they're joining, Chef, I would like to share something.
Yes, sure. Go.
Uh, these students, these students always ask me share something, some experience of Chef Bali with, I mean, you working with Chef Bali. So I always tell them the day one I saw you, I mean, we had a terrible campus. I passed out from IHM Hyderabad in 2002 is the year I passed out, and that is when Mr. Osama bin Laden then the bombarding in US, and I came back home about the job, and I was very disappointed. So I saw this Times of India that there's a hotel coming up at Sunar Bangla, and I applied for it, and I was called for a trade test at Saket, ITC Fortune Saket. That is where I first saw you, Chef. So I was giving my trade test there, and there was another guy with my college from my college, and he was a very good friend of mine. So we were doing Indian dish, chef. So by the time we finished the dish, this guy happened to burn his dish. I don't know if you remember this or not. So this friend of mine, he burned his dishes, and he was like looking at me, "Panch, I'm jobless. Please." So I said, "Okay, you take half of my food, and I'll take half of my food, and we'll present to the chef." We were very young, chef. We didn't know who we're going to face. So there you come and you tasted this food and you said, okay, kiska khana kaun sa hai? So, I was standing frozen in front of you. And I said, and then the other guy was he was a very good friend of mine. He said, Chef, mera khana jal gaya tha. This is Panch ka khana. So you said, okay. So you're going home and Panch, we're taking you. So this is what you are, I mean, master.
No, so I was just telling people, on the English communication skills, don't lose heart, just to be an executive, there are other ways of being executive, and I tell people that if you don't, let's say I'll talk about OCLD, if you don't get through OCLD, now doesn't mean that you cannot be an executive with Oberoi Group. There are many other ways of becoming an executive with other group. So we also have something called OSA, where you join in as an assistant, starting level. And what you're doing, you're learning as you go. And there, then you become the next level, and then the junior, senior commie, CDP, all that. And then again, you have an opportunity to sit for OCLD, or if not, your company promotes you after 5-6 years if you're doing a really good work to executive level, which is called the E1. So, really, I mean, there are many executive chefs all across the world today, and, all of them are not graduates of management training programs. So there are a lot of chefs who have grown from the ranks. So look at even those people. So don't lose hope, don't lose heart. But I think it's just a language, and it'll only add value to yourself. If you can speak German, French, and Spanish, and Japanese, Korean in 3 years' time, why not English, which is, been taught to us when we were small as kids in school. Yeah.
Chef, another question a lot of students are asking, how would the campus be this year? Because of the COVID, we know that this is down. So how would be the intake this year?
So really, I think this is the first time that we've ever been hit by such a pandemic. Uh, we don't have all the answers right now because every new day is unfolding. Every new day is teaching us something new. But yes, I think the people who we had, hired in January for our OCLD management training program. But I think the new selections are only going to happen September, October. And no decision has been made yet, but I'm very positive, that recruitment is going to happen this year. I don't think it'll impact. But yes, like we don't know if it impacts big time that, hotels are facing a lot of flack and challenges on getting the people in, then I think every organization will have to make some decisions. No. So I think there's a problem again, Sumit, with the uh, can everybody else hear us? Yes, Sumit.
It's just playing the spoiler today, the connection, the
No,
connectivity.
no, no problem. No problem.
Uh, we'll just wait for 2 minutes, Chef. People are
Yeah, yeah.
joining us still.
Sure, sure, sure.
I'm really sorry, Chef, about the connectivities
No, listen, what we should
error.
do is time if we lose each other like that, maybe you can type your questions and I will read that question and answer because I think only people can't hear you, they can hear me. So if that
Okay,
is okay, then we can do that.
okay, sure. Chef, I'll quickly start with the other questions.
Yes.
Chef, one issue that we face in colleges, the grooming standards. The
Yeah.
student they come up to us and say it's not an army. Why do you treat us like this? And then what is happening in some of the hotels is, in some of the hotels, I should not name any, they have allowed people to keep a beard, a ponytail, and
Yeah.
they're okay with this. Would you be happy to see a chef in your kitchen having a beard?
Now, see, that's an odd question to me because I have a beard myself, really. But listen, I will tell you something. I mean, I'm not against fashion. I'm not against being. I think if you feel that adorning a ponytail and all that is making you cool, the only thing is that we must understand why there are reasons like that. And I understand a lot of standalone restaurants and all that people are with tattoos and piercings and they think that's the way to look cool. But I think uh, the kind of people that Oberoi Hotels, Ritz Carlton, Four Seasons, uh, we have the BMWs, and in a BMW, you don't have you don't put very gaudy decorations. I mean, you don't put those kind of things in a BMW, but you can put that on a bicycle maybe or on a car. Like how people do. A lot of stuff. Like on their cars, they decorate it with little bunting, etc. You don't do that in a BMW. You don't do that in a Rolls Royce. So I think it's very important that when you're working for a brand organization, you be a part of that brand organization. Uh, at Oberoi Hotels, it's a discipline. It's the grooming standards because we don't want your hair on the food. We don't want we don't want the guests complaining because of any unhygienic practices. So all that kind of thing. So I think they are the kind of customers that we reach out to, the people who come into our hotels. These are absolutely very seasoned people. They have seen the world and they're very, very polished. And such kind of people will not like to, chefs and other people who don't have great grooming standards. So I think that is the reason why certain companies, large hotels, they really, focus on that grooming standards. Uh, so I think that is one. If I give the example of this Taj Mahal, such a beautiful monument. I mean, but when we are decorating Taj Mahal, we don't put buntings on top. We don't put from one pillar to another that thread which has tight like paper hanging to make Taj Mahal look beautiful. Taj Mahal is beautiful in its own way. So I think we only need to, not stand apart. I think we need to add to that, that aura of that place. We need to add to it rather than to just take it out from that. Yes. No. Okay, Sumit. So all the participants, can you hear me? Because I think the problem is with Sumit's audio, and we are always going on and off. If that is the case, then I'll ask Sumit to type in his questions. Can you all hear me, participants? Okay, I'll ask Sumit to ask questions then, and I will answer. Okay, great then. Yeah, so I've asked Sumit to ask me questions, but I think he can't read. Type. Okay, I think now he's got it.
Chef, before we this go again, I'm going to ask you a few short questions which the students have
Yes.
put up.
Yeah.
Uh, so I mean, I know this is very uh, bad that the connection is playing such a spoiler today. Chef, what is your favorite cuisine?
So my favorite cuisine really is Indian cuisine. I love it because it's just full of flavors. I dig into simple food.
Who is your favorite chef, male and female category?
So I think my mom is my favorite chef. If you ask me, she cooks absolutely amazing food. Uh, my wife is an amazing cook. Um, so she does a lot of food from like a mix of UP and Punjab, you could say. Um, but yeah, if you ask me professionally, particularly, I think there are a lot of chefs. I won't be able to name just one chef. I think, but all the chefs that I've worked with, Chef Gill, uh, um, Chef, Chef Sipple. So all these, I think, all the senior chefs are really amazing. My professors, my teachers, a lot of chefs that I worked with, like Chef Thomas Keller, who is very humble and down to earth. I've had a chance to work with Chef Gordon Ramsay as well for a week. So yeah, I mean, I think I don't think I can just pinpoint on one particular chef. I think there have been so many chefs who have been my favorite. Okay, I think there is something wrong. Sumit, can you hear me? Sumit, can you hear me? Okay, then I think Sumit, let me just answer the questions now. Uh, okay, I don't know how should I do it. Shall I come on the live myself and then you can just follow? Uh, okay, let me tell him. So I think Sumit, can you hear me now?
Yes, chef.
Okay, so I think one of the questions really is that how to crack management training program, how to get selected for OCLB. I think the students have maybe a lot of questions because I can see it popping up on the screen. And I think many of you really have attended my session before, which I've been taking on, what to do. So I will tell you very clear, concise thing which you can focus on. And this is not only to join OCLD. I'm talking general that what would you have to do in your campus interviews, for example? So I think first of all thing is that whichever organization is hiring you for a management position, they want somebody who can actually, along with the skills, also bring in business for the organization uh, and become a manager. So as a chef also, it's very important for you because your job is not only to cook great food. As I think executive chef, the more you go higher in your career, the less chances you have to cook on the range. So in reality, really, you'll be cooking less and less when you get promoted higher up the rank. Your job role will increase more because you would have to go and meet the guests, do strategic planning, do menu planning, and a lot of other stuff which will become an important part of your job. So starting from when we want somebody in the management cadre, we have certain attributes that we are looking at. And one of the attributes is personality. Now, personality doesn't mean how tall you are, how well built you are. No. The personality is just that, personable face, smiling face, somebody who is well groomed, can talk well, When we talk about communication, please brush up on your English language. Speak good grammatical correct English. Uh, have a strong non-verbal communication, like body language also, which is great. Don't have a negative body language. You can see a lot of this stuff on Google, on YouTube about negative body language. Uh, then technical skills, very important. You must have great sound technical skills, which are very important, because the organization is judging that your parents are paying for your education, and if you are not able to answer few questions, that means you haven't done justice to your parents' money. So if you haven't done justice to your parents' money, how would you do justice to Tata's money or Mr. Oberoi's money? So that way, the technical things are really important because we want to know what you've learned. From this certain confidence, general awareness, like GQ is very important. Read well, read other books, apart from just theory books. Read other books like fiction, anything, to increase your vocabulary, to have an understanding of the world. So overall, in total, I think we are looking for a person, who is great communicator, who knows his technicals well, who is generally aware, can strike an intelligent conversation, can is not over smart, and has a right attitude to learn. He doesn't know an answer, he apologizes and say, I don't know the answer. May I try, but I will find out. So those kind of things I think are very, very important for having a great positive attitude. Yeah. So somebody is asking a question that should quantity cooking be replaced with individual cooking in colleges? Uh, you know, I think it's both. You have to learn quantity cooking as well because that's prevalent in the hotels when you cook in banquets. So we do all types of cooking. We only don't do quantity cooking. I think in different years there's a different syllabus. So we actually do cook individual dishes, and we also cook quantity cooking in the second year, which is the part of the syllabus. So it will be very incomplete if we took away the quantity cooking, completely different. So I'm just scrolling now from some questions which you are writing down, and I will kind of, try to answer those questions. Um, so somebody's, Sachdeva is asking me what according to you would be the attitude and behavior in the kitchen. Um, so I think I wouldn't say the attitude of yes, chef, but a smile on your face, not getting bogged down by extra work. Uh, uh, I think when the job is given to you, you don't look scared and fearful. Even if you have fears, you voice it out and you say, I've never done this, but let me give it a shot. If I need help, I'll ask. So I think that kind of an attitude, the attitude to help other people, not to say that, okay, great, yesterday I faced a problem, today you do it. So attitude is not something that can be just defined in few words. Attitude is all about how you the kitchen. Behavior in the kitchen is like any other. Help each other in troubled times. Up your learning skills. Compete with your own self. I think that's the greatest behavior you need to have. Uh, well, Indian books, Pankaj, there aren't too many Indian books per se, but there are in standalone books like Ranjit Rai. Tandoor by Ranjit Rai is a great book. Prasad by Jigs Kalra, that's a great book. Dastar Khwane Awadh, written by Sangeeta Bhatnagar, is a good book. Naans and Rotis of India by Purobi Babbar, that's a great book. But I don't think we have, apart from my second book on Indian cuisine, I don't think we have a concise encyclopedia. I was going to write one, the Culinary India, but that Ulman brothers, they closed down. So I don't know when they open or something. Then probably it's on my cards to write a Culinary India. Why degree students can sit for management trainee? Why not the diploma student? No, when you're talking about diploma, like 3-year diploma, you can sit for a management training program. So the degree in the colleges have been started now, until 3-4 years ago. During my time, we only had a diploma. But yes, this diploma should be a 3-year diploma. The 1.5-year trade diploma is something that, you don't train for a management training because you need more expertise, you need more skill-based things. But you can, of course, join as a commie and then work way up. Uh, okay. Sorry if there are any more questions. I'm happy to answer. So, what do you think the difference can be created in the syllabus to make students worth who are doing 4-year course? So, because I really haven't seen the 4th year program and how it looks like, but I think it should be more of experiential learning in the 4th year. It should be more of application based. It should be not only just learning how to cook, but I think even understanding the synthesis of a cuisine. That if Japanese is like that, then why? How the Japanese flavor can be combined with other dishes to create something. So I think the 4th year should be more of experiential learning, more of experimentation, more of creativity, and understanding a cuisine at a depth. Uh, Larousse Gastronomique is absolutely a great book, but it's a dictionary. Use it like a dictionary, because when you were kids, you never learned, you never studied from dictionary. You always used it as an aid to yourself. So please do that. Still, it's a great book, but don't read it from page by page every day. It doesn't help you. Very long career. The need of the hour is iCloud Kitchen. That is really the need of the hour. A lot of the world in next few years is going to move towards the iCloud Kitchen. So there's a large career out there, definitely. Uh, Ankit, if you're talking about food wastage, I really hate it. I want really people to save food and not waste. And not only food, I think save all the resources in the world. We must think about sustainability. We must think about environment. We have caused enough harm to our Mother Earth. And look what's happening today. This is the wake-up call for all of us when the God is giving a signal where Earth is trying to heal itself. And we've realized that we are nothing. Whatever we can do, but lockdown at homes like this and trying to make most of things, yeah, and seeing people go hungry. I think now is the time that we learn, and we must tell ourselves that we have to be really, really careful now, and please avoid any food wastage. So cook only what you can eat, finish, and then just cook for the next meal. I speak around fairly 9 languages. Out of these, the 2 foreign languages are Spanish and French. But I speak very fluent Bengali because I spent 9 years in Calcutta. I speak Kashmiri, that's my mother tongue. I speak Punjabi, Dogri. I speak Pushto, which is my local dialect in Kashmir, which is very similar to Afghani. So, Shubham, I think cruise lines are good places to work, but I think again, it's very monotonous. It can be because you're of quantity cooking. But yeah, at the end of the day, you see the world when the cruise line docks up somewhere, and yeah, but it's if you're okay with seasickness, if you're okay with staying away from your family for long, I think that it's a great place to work. Uh, yeah, so somebody asked me, do you think unconventional hospitality models like Airbnb would mutate how hotels? Of course, it has already started coming in. Like the so many things. With the drones coming in, the photographers have lost their jobs. So there are a lot of things that are coming in, of course, which are going to create like disruptors in our hospitality industry. So that is for sure. I mean, all these places are going to play like big disruptors, and the hotels are already facing an impact, definitely. What do you think one should go for masters? Masters in what? Culinary? I mean, just work in a hotel, learn in a hotel. These degrees will only be important if you want to become a culinary educator. You want to be a PhD in something. But just by getting a degree, it's not that you will get a good job in the hotel, because you need to have experience. Ronoji, there are many nice brands of knives actually. So sadly, I mean, India doesn't make some very great knives. I would say, particularly, there are some good knives, but go for good knives like Victorinox is good, Wusthof is good, Henkel's is a great. So I know these knives are expensive, but I think you should invest your money in one thing rather than buying cheap knives, because it's going to stay with you forever. Um, okay, Mandeep Singh, please say some lines, sir, about chef coat. I think that's how today. If you see, I'm in a chef coat. I've been changing chef coats every day. I have close to 25 odd personal chef coats that I have. I think it's my next skin, and I think I feel really comfortable in my chef coat. Uh, I just feel very connected to food when I'm in the chef coat. It gives me a lot of confidence, and I think it just makes me feel that it's me. Chef students should go abroad for higher study, join kitchens in India, which will be the best. But your personal choice. I mean, it's not that abroad something it will teach you something different. That when you come to India, we'll hire you as a junior sous chef. We'll still hire you at a place after taking a trade test, really. So it's personally your choice. But if you think that going abroad, coming back, there'll be more value for you in India, I don't think so. Career opportunities in cruise lines, I've already answered. Vegan cuisine, really upcoming, great. Uh, Good to be there. We always were vegan, in India. But yes, possible, can you repeat? There's an audio cut due to connectivity issues. Snapper Live, can you tell me what should I repeat? Chef, what do you prefer more, MT or internship and learning? So, yeah, if you ask me particularly, I think doing a lot of internships, working with chefs, more experiential learning. It's like doctor's field. You're a great doctor or a surgeon, the more operations you do, the more, skill-based learning that you have, I think it is great. How to crack HMI, ITC as an internal candidate. I think, so Rohit, if you're working with ITC, I think you should reach out to them and ask them what they're looking for. I can only tell you about Obroy's if you're wanting to know about as an internal candidate. Chef, your views on progressive Indian cuisine, flavors of India. I think that's the next in thing. The chefs are trying very hard to put the Indian cuisine on the world map because we want our cuisine to be not seen only as naan and curry, but somewhere down the line it's a whole box of worms that I could open. And why do we want our food to be seen by people how they want to see it? Why can't we let them see the food that we want them to really see? What is our food? So I think we are only dressing up our food in progressive Indian cuisine. We are only making it more, thinking that we are making it more palatable to the other people. And when we do that, we lose the confidence in our own dish, and we start telling ourselves, "Oh, this doesn't look good like this, but let me make it look better like that." I haven't seen great Thai food being presented in a modern manner. Uh, a Thai curry is a Thai curry in a bowl, great Thai curry along with steamed rice. Nothing can beat it. So yeah, I mean, but that is the fashion. If you're doing it, I have nothing against it. But focus on the regional cooking of India. Focus on the lost ingredients that we have in this thing. Uh, Listen, Vikas, I wouldn't know what message. I think the only message I can give to all those people who are, have a fear in their mind regarding COVID, that whatever will happen with all of us. So don't worry. The things are looking brighter ahead. When one road closed down, the another one opens. So I think just be there in the moment. Don't get debogged, and keep learning. Okay. Yeah, getting a job is not a problem. I mean, you will get job, but if you want a specific job in a specific place, sometimes that doesn't happen. But getting a job, it's not a problem. Okay. How can one become researcher? I think you have to really keep reading, researching. That's all I can tell you. Uh, Chef, how can we do self-training back at home? Oh, I think it's all good. Uh, Ms. S. Kapoor, I think we are doing everything at home these days. We are cooking a lot of great stuff. We are putting it up on the Instagram. So I think that's great. I think everybody must use the ingredients at home. Do not waste, and cook food and share it with your loved ones. Um, Few tips setting up this year. I think already answered that. Cloud kitchen, yes. Okay. What are the attributes when he starts a career? I think I've answered. Thank you. Pant Lily, you're my biggest fan. Thank you. French cuisine in India, of course, it's great, but of late I think it has died its natural death in India because too much of butter, wine, we're all becoming health freaks. But yes, I mean there's the cuisine is like new flavors. I mean they keep coming in. Okay, listen, food fiesta. Vegetarian want to make your career as a chef, no problem. I know a lot of chefs who are vegetarian and don't eat meat. Okay. I love bakery. I love Indian, also continental. I feel this is my weakness where I lack deep knowledge. So I think Karthik, you just take one step at a time and find your love in the kitchen. Work 3 months in Indian, 3 months in Western, 3 months in bakery, and then see that what do you like doing. What's your fallback place? Where do you land up every time? Okay. Oh, there are a lot of questions. I mean, there are hundreds of questions. I'm not able to scroll. Okay, so I think now let's sign it off. And if you want anything in particular, just follow me on my Insta page. Chef Bali is my handle. Ask me questions on my personal mail, and I will try and answer as much. Any book you would like to refer for biryani? No, unfortunately, there is no particular book just for biryani. But I think you should just read about different types of rice and learn as much. Oh God, there are so many questions. I mean, it's very difficult for me. I'm just reading one question, and the questions are jumping up very fast. So send me your questions, and I will try and reply to you as and when I can.